What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Amazon exclusive Mandalorian, Ahsoka, and Grogu 3-pack. And so here we have the Mandalorian, Ahsoka, and Grogu posing out of the packaging. Before we have a look at the figures, let's actually run through their accessories. We'll run through Ahsoka's first. She does come with 3 accessories. We, of course, do get her dual lightsabers, which are the same as her previous release, and they still look good. And then she does come with a soft goods robe. As for Mandalorian here, he does come with several accessories. He does come with his blaster, which does fit in his hand really nicely. We do get his pulse rifle. And then we get the Beskar spear, which I think that's really nice. Other than that, they really don't come with any other accessories. I guess you can count Grogu as an accessory, but he's pretty much his own character. So, with that out of the way, let's actually have a closer look at each of these figures. So I'll be having a look at Grogu first because he's going to be the easiest one. I really do like this mold for Grogu here. It's a really fun little sitting position that he has right here. The original one had him standing up, so he has a little more height on the original Grogu figure. I think the heads are the exact same, just this one has better paint apps, as you can see. I think this one looks the best out of the 2 that we have here, and then moving that one off, we have the Target exclusive Grogu, which I think this one's creepy looking. This one seems to capture his essence a little bit better than those other 2. You can see his ears are painted really nicely. They have the pink in them. He has some rosy cheeks. His little robe is two-toned as it should be, and you can see there's actually some sculpted work on it. So I really do like that. I like the 2 tones right here. And then his little sleeve cuffs right there. His hands are movable, which will get his articulation out of the way. He has a ball jointed head, which lets him look up and down. He can turn left and right. When I got him out of the package, his head was completely frozen in place. I had to hit him with some heat and some shock oil, but yeah, his head moves really nicely. Like I said, he's in a sitting position, so he stands pretty well. He actually has some pretty good balance to him. Other than that, there's really not much to talk about with Grogu. He's essentially a tiny little accessory. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually have a closer look at Ahsoka. And so here we have a closer look at Ahsoka, and just like with Grogu, there's really not much more to go over with this figure. Essentially, this Ahsoka is the same as the single carded Ahsoka we got earlier in the year. As you can see, I can bring this one out, and there's virtually no difference in terms of sculpt. In terms of paint, I feel like the new one captures the essence of the character more, and she doesn't have the shiny face that this one had. Another thing I do like is on mine this time, her Leku right here does not have the paint error right there, so I do like the fact that this one is doing much better than this one. It lives up to expectations. So like I said, she's really the same figure. We don't get anything new with her other than the soft goods robe, which should have honestly been included on the first figure. This is just Hasbro's way of charging more for what should have been the first release. So yeah, I do like the paint job on it. It's the exact same that we saw on the other one. Her montrals up here do look good. And in my previous review, I think I called these her montrals. No, her montrals are the crest right here. These are her Leku. I do apologize about that. I was going on like 3 hours of sleep that day. But yeah, I do like the paint job on it. I think it could use with a little bit of a wash just to give it a little more detail. But in terms of sculpt, it's essentially the same thing. We have the little area for her lightsabers to be holstered, so there is that. I do like the gauntlets, which they're painted about the same. Everything on the figure is essentially the same sculpt-wise, so there's nothing new to talk about. Ahsoka here is still a really solid character, and even if you missed out on that previous release, this is a new way to get her again. I think the paint apps on the face are much better, and they didn't hit her with high gloss on her face like they did with previous figures. So with that out of the way, let's actually move on to Mandalorian. And so finally, here we have a look at the Mandalorian Din Jar, and as I've already said with the previous 2 figures, this is essentially a figure that we've gotten in the past with a few new parts. He essentially is using the exact same parts as the Beskar Mandalorian here, which you can see that there is a huge paint difference in terms of the silver. This one is a lot brighter. I wonder if that's chalked up to the age of this figure, or if this one actually does have a brighter silver. I do like it. It puts it in line with the Mayfex and the SH figure arts in terms of sheen, where this one is kind of dingy and doesn't reflect the light as well. So yeah, I do like the updated paint job on him, and there is some things to like about this figure, some things to not like, and we'll talk about the thing I don't like the most, which is a glaring paint error on my figure, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be the exact same on every single figure in the line. They did not paint the back of his armor. Now you might say they've never done it. Painted armor on the original one. This one we get none. That is sheer laziness on Hasbro's part, and you can't say that, oh, they just ran out of paint. They painted the back part of his costume. It doesn't make sense why this is missing paint and then this has paint. If they had completely missed the back of the figure, this wouldn't have paint. And I know that that's painted because that is the color of the plastic, the brown. That's the color of the padding right there. So yes, it's sheer laziness on Hasbro's part. I really don't like that. As far as the sculpt goes, essentially the exact same as this figure with one new exception. His thigh guard right here on the right leg is correct to Season 2, where this one is his Season 1. I do like the updated armor on Mandalorian here. They did a really good job. Oh, and they also painted his knee armor right here, where the original figure, it wasn't painted because he didn't have it in Season 1, and they just kind of re-sculpted this one. So yeah, they actually did paint his knee pad now, but other than that, same figure, with the exception being his new thigh guard, new paint, missing paint, and this new clip to hold the Beskar spear, so I really do like that. So overall, this Mandalorian figure is pretty okay. It's nothing special, but it's the first time we get a clean Season 2 look for Mandalorian here, and I do love the paint that they went with on his Beskar. So yeah, there are some pros, there are some cons. So with that out of the way, let's actually have them compared to other figures you may have in your collection. Here we have Mandalorian and Ahsoka posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Mandalorian and Ahsoka posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have Mandalorian and Ahsoka posed next to a Lightning Collection White Range and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. And for a final comparison, here we do have Mandalorian and Ahsoka posed next to the original Black Series Beskar Mandalorian, Ahsoka Tano, and the original Grogu. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's have a look at their articulation. We'll have a look at Ahsoka's first. Essentially, the exact same articulation scheme that we saw on that first figure. She does have a ball joint here at the head, which does let her look up and down very slightly. We don't get too much movement out of there. Does turn left and right, although her leg crew right here do get in the way. They are soft, but they're not soft enough that it makes a difference. So yeah, all the people that said that they're soft enough to move out of the way, yes and no, because it does create a lot of tension right there, and it does make that joint loose as you hold it in that position. So that is a little bit unfortunate. She does have butterfly joints, which do pivot forward and back. Ball joint in the shoulder going out to the side. We don't have a bicep swivel, but we do have a swivel here at the elbow, as well as a bend which goes a little past 90. Then she does have vertical hinges on both her hands, as well as rotation. We have a ball joint in the torso, which works fine, swivels just perfectly. Legs do kick forward, they kick back, out to the side. We have a thigh swivel up high, single bend here at the knee. No boot cut rotation, but it does rotate at her knee as well, in case you want that. Then we do have a hinge in the foot going back and forward. So overall, pretty good articulation here on Ahsoka. Now let's move on to Mandalorian, where he has a double ball joint here in the head, which does let him look up and down, can tilt his head side to side, as well as turn left and right. He has another ball joint at the neck, which does help with posing, so I do like that. Arms do go all the way around. I don't think he has a butterfly joint. I might be wrong. Maybe he does. It's just really stiff on my... Yeah, he has a butterfly joint. It just was stuck. But it doesn't really provide too much movement, unfortunately. Arms do go out to the side to about right there. They go all the way around. No bicep swivel, but again, we do have an elbow rotation as well as a hinge, which does go about 90 degrees. Then he does rotate at the wrist, having a horizontal hinge here at his hand and a vertical hinge at the right. He does have a really good ball joint that does pivot back and forward, side to side. It would rotate a little bit better, but it is hindered by this because they decided to glue the strap down. Yeah, Hasbro is going to Hasbro whenever they can. Legs do kick forward to about right there. This one's still hindered by his thigh guard, so keep that in mind. Kicks back, out to the side, no problem. We have a really stiff thigh swivel, but it does function normally. We have a double bend here at his knee using the exact same sculpt as the original one. Then he does have a hinge in the foot, which does go back and forward facing in for rocker ankle, and that's pretty much all you need on Mandalorian. So overall, they have some pretty good articulation, just nothing too spectacular. It's your standard Black Series articulation. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get them posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the Star Wars Black Series Amazon exclusive Mandalorian, Ahsoka, and Grogu 3-pack, and overall, yeah, this set isn't going to be for everybody. I do appreciate the fact that we finally get a clean version of the Season 2 Mandalorian. It's a long time coming, and I'm surprised it took them this long to give it to us. Ahsoka is still a really nice figure, although I feel like this is the figure that we should have got originally. And Grogu, this is the same Grogu that we'll be seeing later on in the line, just without his pram and other accessories. Now, with that being said, guys, I gotta be 100% honest with you guys. This is not a $70 set. In no way, shape, or form is this set worth $70. I do like the fact that we get a Season 2 Mandalorian with the Beskar Spear, but that's not justifying $70. The soft goods as well doesn't justify $70. This is at most a $50 set, and that's being generous. If I'm being honest, this set should be priced at $40. In no way, shape, or form do I see $70 with this set. I'm sorry, but this is a cash grab by Hasbro. I do like the fact we get a Season 2 Mando, but they've already announced that we're going to get a single-carded Season 2 Mando down the road, and unless that one has a removable helmet, this one is pretty much the first one we're going to get, and I'm more than likely going to pass on that next figure. Ahsoka here is still a really nice figure, but like I said, should have been the figure we got originally. And Grogu here is, well, just Grogu. You probably have like 30 of them at this point. Now, unfortunately, this is a cash grab by Hasbro. There is no justifying it at $70, especially with the missing paint on Mando's back. Yeah, we get the Beskar Spear, but we also get all the other accessories that Mando is known for. So yeah, $70 for this set? Absolutely not, and it really does sicken me that I paid that much for this set. If anything, just go out and buy the single carded Ahsoka and wait for the Season 2 Mando. Unless you can't wait for them, that's the only way you're going to get them at this point. I do appreciate the Beskar Spear, like I've been saying, but that, it's not $70, and it's not a $70 accessory, and in no way, shape, or form is this set either. I'm sorry, but Hasbro is really pricing us out. The fact that this is almost $80 after shipping, that is far too much. And if you don't have Amazon Prime and you're paying shipping for this, you're looking at about $85, and that is outrageous. Don't pay that price, just wait for the Season 2 Mando, and if you want another Grogu, pick it up. If you can't wait, I guess you can pick this set up, but I would definitely use like a gift card or Amazon bucks for it, because this, yeah, I don't see $70 here, and I'm being 100% honest with you guys. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other Star Wars Black Series videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you guys would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll gladly have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified anytime I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.